In the heart of a mystical forest, where the sun filtered through the canopy in golden beams, there stood a very special tree. This tree was not like any other tree in the forest. Its bark was smooth and silvery, and its leaves shimmered with a golden hue, even when there was no sunlight. But the most magical thing about this tree was its laughter. It was called the laughing tree. Every day, as the forest creatures went about their business, the laughing tree would burst into laughter. It wasn't a regular laugh. It was a deep, hearty, infectious laugh that echoed through the forest like the sound of tinkling bells. The birds would chirp in rhythm with the tree's laughter, and even the squirrels would jump from branch to branch, as if they couldn't help but dance along. The animals loved the laughing tree. They would often sit beneath its branches, listening to the warm, joyful sounds that came from it. It made everyone feel happy and carefree. Whenever the animals were feeling sad or worried, they would visit the laughing tree, and its laughter would chase away their troubles. One day, a young fox named Lila wandered into the forest, looking sad and lost. She had heard stories about the laughing tree, but she had never seen it for herself. Lila was feeling down because she had lost her way in the forest. She was new to the area and didn't know how to find her home. As she walked through the forest, she could hear the faint sound of laughter in the distance. Curious, Lila followed the sound, hoping that it would bring her some comfort. The closer she got, the louder the laughter became, until she finally reached the laughing tree. When Lila saw the tree, she couldn't help but smile. Its golden leaves seemed to sparkle in the soft light, and the laughter echoed so cheerfully that it made her heart feel lighter. She sat down under the tree and listened, hoping the laughter would help her feel better. But something strange happened. As Lila listened to the laughter, she realized that the laughing tree wasn't just laughing for the sake of laughing, it was laughing with her. The sound of its laughter seemed to mirror the little chuckles and giggles that bubbled up from within her. Lila laughed too, and before she knew it, she was laughing so hard that she couldn't stop. The laughing tree's laughter grew louder, as if it were joining in her joy. Lila laughed and laughed until tears of happiness welled up in her eyes. She had forgotten how to laugh like that for so long. "What's so funny?" Lila asked, half through giggles, as she looked up at the tree. The laughing tree, of course, didn't answer in words. But the laughter that echoed from its branches seemed to say, "Life is better when you share your happiness with others." Lila felt a warmth in her heart, and in that moment, she knew that her worries were not as big as they seemed. The laughing tree had reminded her that sometimes the best way to find your way is to laugh at the challenges that life throws your way. Lila's sadness faded, and she felt a deep sense of peace. After laughing for what felt like hours, Lila stood up and stretched. She smiled at the laughing tree, grateful for the joy it had brought her. And just as she was about to leave, the tree's laughter softened, like a friendly whisper. Lila knew the way home. With a light heart and a spring in her step, Lila followed the path back to her den. The laughing tree's laughter still echoed in her mind, and she promised herself that no matter how tough things got, she would always remember to laugh. And from that day on, Lila became known as the happiest fox in the forest. Whenever any animal was feeling down, Lila would take them to the laughing tree, where they could laugh together and feel the joy of life once again. The laughing tree continued to spread happiness through the forest, reminding all who came near that no matter how difficult life might seem, laughter had the power to heal and bring people closer together.